Hello, welcome to another episode of I Am Not a Licensed Therapist. My name is Dee. I am not your licensed therapist today. Today's letter comes from ES of No Fixed Address. It's pretty scant on the details, so I have to make a few assumptions on some of the details of this, and I have to I prefer more details. So if you are going to be emailing me your questions, which I fully welcome you to do so, email me please at notherapist@gmail.com, and I can get your correspondences, and I can do my best to give totally unsubstantiated and totally unreliable advice to you, because I am not a licensed therapist. But I'm wearing glasses, so it automatically makes me look that much more authoritative. Today's letter comes from ES of No Fixed Address. She is single, doesn't have any children, but since the death of her sister, she's been taking care of her sister's son. She gets a little bit of support from her uncle and aunt to take care of the boy, but she's looking to get some children of her own. She is looking for a partner. She's looking for a real man. She's looking for a soulmate, someone who's caring, who knows what true love means, and is willing to have a long-term relationship that will lead to marriage. She's looking for someone who walks with faith and worship the Lord Jesus Christ, and one is willing to be her best friend forever. Well, ES, there's a lot packed in there. First of all, let me say, you really deserve to be commended for taking on your nephew. That's a big commitment, and you deserve applause for doing just that, for taking on her son, for becoming the primary caregiver. I know from your letter it sounds like you're looking to have children of your own, which the situation doesn't mean you can't have children of your own, but it does make finding a father, a partner for you, a father for a future child, a little bit more difficult, because here's my advice. Put your nephew and his needs first. That's the way it's got to be. You're now the primary caregiver, and if you're off dating all the time, it's going to perhaps make the child a little bit resentful. He's probably feeling a little bit of separation anxiety as it is. He's been through a lot, and when you become a parent, as I'm sure you're starting to realize, your life is not about you anymore. It's about this other life that you're now responsible for. And anyone who takes that on, most people don't feel resentment towards it, but it's a more gradual process. You have now had this person foisted upon you, and you've decided to take on responsibility, but no one can truly be prepared. So my first piece of advice would be focus on your nephew. Make sure that he feels safe and secure in his new environment, and then once that happens, then it'll be time for you. I know that isn't necessarily what a lot of people like to hear, but it's the truth. You need to focus on your nephew. As far as finding a person or a mate, a male, that is in the faith with you and takes the faith as seriously as you do, have you tried your church? I have to imagine that you belong to some sort of denomination if you talk specifically about wanting someone who walks with faith and worships the Lord Jesus Christ. I have to imagine you go to church. Again, making assumptions, you don't give me a lot of details here. If the church is not the best fishing grounds for a potential mate, there's lots of Christian dating sites, christianmingle.com, christiansingles.com, I'm a Christian, you're a Christian, let's be Christian together.com, something like that. They're out there. They're not hard to find. Just Google Christian dating sites, Christian social networking sites, and they are out there. Well, ES, I hope that answers some questions for you. I hope that you have success in your endeavors. Remember, put your nephew first. I'm presuming he's somewhere between the ages of 4 and 12. You don't give me that detail, but that's what I'm presuming. And he's going to need you. So make sure that you put your nephew first. Glasses. More serious, more authoritative. Well, that's it for today's episode of I Am Not a Licensed Therapist. Send your letters to notherapist@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about this guy who looks fantastic in his glasses, about how he's trying to give advice. It's free. What do you want from me? Like, subscribe, send your letters again to notherapist@gmail.com, and check out my other YouTube channel where I give totally unqualified music reviews, and that site is on YouTube called Album a Day Online. Also check out my buddies Mercy and Crandall over at the Armchair Directors channel. That's it for now. I'll see you again.